Hello, welcome to the Colourful Creativity podcast. My name is Carolien and this is episode 90. You can find me online everywhere as Carolien, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Ravelry, the works. I have a brand new webshop at colourfulcreativity.nl and there is a Ravelry group for this podcast and my yarn, and you can find it in the group section on Ravelry with the name Colourful Creativity. Welcome everyone, welcome back to our returning viewers. I'm happy you like it here and sticking around. And welcome of course to all new viewers. I hope you will like it here and stick around and hit the subscribe button down below. So, episode 90, oh my. I guess it's time for a little reintroduction for all the new subscribers. My name is Carolien and I live in Enschede with my husband and two cats. This one is Binx, usually comes by at the beginning of the episode. And there's also Leia, and they are Cornish Rex cats, so short-haired cats. They are not naked, they have hair. And well, they join me sometimes when I record and we love them a lot, and you can see them on Instagram if you follow me there pretty often. They join me when I craft a lot. They are annoying as hell sometimes, and they are the best, of course. They are very cuddly, and Cornish Rexes are very attracted to their people. They're more like dogs than like cats, in my opinion. They really love their owners and they want a lot of attention. So, I am an indie dyer. Here you can see some of the shop stock. I am recording in my little studio at the moment, as I'm also dyeing yarn, so any clicks you hear, that is the dye pot. I can't leave it alone and I have to pay attention to it every 30 minutes, so I was like, I can record downstairs, walk upstairs every 30 minutes, or I can just sit upstairs and record here and see the yarn from a point of view that you can't see, but I can. I also make glass beads. I have a studio for that in the attic, so I am very lucky. I have 2 studios in my house to do all my crafty business. Further, I love to knit, and that is what I share in this podcast. I also really like to spin, and sometimes I crochet. I started out as a crocheter and then ventured into knitting, sock knitting, and then indie dyeing, and it got a business, and we're here. So anything you want to ask me, just do. You can find me everywhere as Carolien, like I said, and pop in a question here in the comment section or in the Ravelry group. Just go ahead. Well, Mr. Binx wants his attention, as you can see. He's just walking around me, jumping on me whenever he wants. And I guess we will just start with my finished object, because I have a finished object and we are here for the knitting and yarn and stuff. I have finished my Not Today tank top. Let me get it the right way around. It is a bit difficult to show, but here it is. This is the front. Tank top. A-line. Just stockinette. And Not Today has a knot in the back. So it is a very cool construction. It is meant to be a layering piece. It has a little bit wider armholes, so you really want to wear something underneath it. You could wear a ripple bralette or something underneath, but I wore a little top underneath. I have used Colourful Experiment yarn. This is a sock yarn, 75% virgin wool and 25% nylon. It is a bit scratchy, but actually I can handle it. I am pretty sensitive, but apparently this one is okay for me to wear. And of course I don't wear it on my skin, I wear a top underneath. That really helps as well. I've also worn it over a bikini. Like when you just want to throw something on over a bikini and walk up to your ice cream parlor or whatever on the beach. Or you just want to cover up a little bit, you can just put this on. It works perfectly, and since I am not wearing it, I will pop in some photos of me wearing it here, of course. The pattern Not Today tank top is by Melissa Alexander Loomis, also known as Skenanigans. The needle I used, I think the recommended size was a 4mm and I went down to a 3.5mm. I knit the size 50 inch. That means that it has positive eaves for me, about 1 to 2 inch. Because it has an A-line, it gets wider anyways. And the first try I did, I ended up at the bust with a size 64 instead of a size 50. Somehow my swatch was lying to me, and I ripped back a lot, I think, until you join, and then reknitted with a lot smaller needle. That means my gauge is a little bit tighter than the pattern recommends, but it fits me perfectly. So I'm very happy with it. So this one, since summer is over, will wait for me for next year. I was very happy with the last heat wave. That last 1 week of way too hot weather. I'm not one for 30+ degrees Celsius. But it was nice because that meant I could show it off. Then I will go on with whips. I have a really cool whip in my little orange cat bag. And I say little orange cat because that is the brand. And this is by Rainbow Angela from the Yarn and Yarns store and podcast, my dear friend. And in here I have a pair you saw first in another bag, but that bag was so big that taking it would everywhere would take up a lot of space in my purse. I was like, nah, I'm gonna go with a smaller bag, and this one is just perfect. And it also means that I can join into the retreat make along for the knit tea retreat that's coming up next month. And I shouldn't say that too often, that it's next month, because my stress levels will go up. I have to dye so much yarn for it, because yes, I am selling again. Yay! So happy about that I could still make it, and that Brexit was postponed. So I hope the situation is solved soon and that they just scratch it, but let's not get into politics. I have here my Pippi long stockings, and they grew quite substantially, and I have a lot more stitches now. I am making these socks with while writing a pattern, more a recipe pattern than a true pattern, because I would have loved to find a knee-high sock pattern that would just give me guidelines on how to make it fitting for me. I know my calves are big. I was a swimmer, and well, I hardly ever fit in normal commercial knee-high socks. They always hurt me. They are too tight or they are too loose and they sag. And this way I hope to finally have a pair of knee-highs that fit me. So I am now about 5 inch in, like This would be the normal ankle height. I have put in a lifeline to make sure that I didn't have to rip back all the way if the whole plan and theory I have doesn't work out, but so far so good. So 5" in about now, with the increases. Doesn't look too bad so far. This is the front. My idea is that increases should be on the back because my leg increases on the back and also decreases on the back. Those will come later. And it's just, I really loved Pippi Longstocking when I was a child. Her dad looked like mine, so my dad was her dad, and I would imagine that I would be Pippi Longstocking. I always was a fat kid with not too many friends, which meant that your imagination is your biggest friend. So I loved Pippi Longstocking and I loved her socks. And I really wanted them, but never could find them. And now I'm making my own. So these are my Pippi Longstockings. That will probably also be the name for the pattern, Pippi Longstockings. The yarn I'm using is, let me find the card. There are actually 2 full skeins of Mind the Gap yarn, and they are different. Her sequence order changes apparently. One is from November 16, I think, and the other one is from September 16. So 2 different dye batches, 2 different orders, and as you might see, probably not, but I also turned them around. So one is going this way and the other one is going that way, so that also changes the direction of the stripes. I love how crazy they are. Absolutely love them. I am knitting these on 2.25mm needles. Yes, I feel like I am crazy for that. But hey, I like a bulletproof gauge for my socks, and that means that the sole of the foot is not opening up the stitches, that you can feel all the threads individually. I hate that. Not much else to say I can think about this one, except that these will take a while still. Even if I do like a few rounds a day, it probably will still take me 3 weeks. Then I picked up an old whip again. Now summer is over, it's time to start the cardigans again. So in this Ish Amsterdam bag from Stephen and Penelope, I have my Rainbow Party cardie, and there's an extra Ziploc bag in here to keep it all together, because this one was one of the projects I had to put in stash for the renovation, and I didn't want to get any dust on it because, well, it is a bright color. I know it's very forgiving with all the rainbow stripes. This is how it is. I already split for the sleeves and I did about an inch, so not much, but it is nice, mindless stockinette, flat stockinette, so also quite some purling. These are long rows, so yeah. I do love how it feels. It's very drapey. It's knit on a looser gauge. It's a 3.75mm needle I'm using, because the one the pattern recommends wasn't working for me somehow. But this one gives me gauge. I stole the tips. I wrote down that I was using this. The yarn I'm using, my very own hand dyed. This is Quirky Rainbow, and it is a light speckled rainbow yarn. And the pattern is by Stephanie Lotfen, also known as Tellybean Knits. And I am still looking for the perfect mini skeins, because once you finish the main collar and the main body, you have to add 5 mini skeins, or at least 5 collars to it for the front of the cardigan. It's a really cool looking knit, and I am still very unsure what colors I'm gonna add for this. I absolutely have no clue yet, so we'll see when we get there. And I will just grab my big box of mini skeins and put them next to it and see which one's the best pick. And knitting these on higher sharps, I always knit everything on higher sharps, so these are no exception to that. Then, what do we have next? Yes, in my Vicky Bird Designs bag, my party bag, is a pair of hand spun socks. So that's sock pair number 2. And you can see my progress was a few rows, but I think I didn't show it last time, so it was time to show it now. I love how they're coming together. One is a bit softer, the other one has a bit more twist, which makes it a bit harder, or a bit tougher probably, I should say. But that's fine. It's nice to experience the difference between the different skeins I spun. I spun this in 2 times 50 grams, and this is a chain ply, so a 3-ply yarn, and it's a little bit thicker than fingering. It's a bit like Patton's Cry sock, and I am using a 2.75mm needle because of that. I like it. I like it a lot, and by knitting these I have found my love again for spinning as well. And I also know that I really love to spin sock yarn, because that's the yarn I really use. I also love to chain ply. That's also something I noticed, and I also can experiment a little bit more. I'm not using a pattern, I'm just doing it toe up, and that's because I want to use most of the yarn, so then I can stop when the yarn is out, or at least from one of the skeins, because, well, I want the socks to be equally long. Let me get a sip of tea. Tea is probably way too hot, but so yeah, lovely hand spun socks. My first ever knit with hand spun yarn. Everybody told me to do it quicker and to just start knitting with it, but I just didn't have a goal or something I liked. I didn't spin yarn I like yet, and that also means that I don't know what to do with it. It makes it harder to find a nice project to knit with. I'm one who really loves commercial, nice, smooth, soft, perfect yarn, and with these hand spun socks I am nowhere near perfect or commercial, but it is my idea of hand spun yarn, and I am not a thick and thin person. I'm more a consistent, even yarn person. So maybe I will find a project that is okay with thick and thin, but we'll see. In my Colourful Creativity bag I have partial of my second beachcomber top. Let me get it around the Binxer. Here it is. I made some progress. The heat wave made me knit with cotton. I didn't want to bring my wool projects during a heat wave and having a barbecue. So I was like, I'm gonna take my cotton knit, which was a great idea. And I added a new color. So this will be, or this is a Beachcomber by Carolien. And sorry about that, I already knit one. My regular viewers know, and I really love that. The Beachcomber usually has two blocks of the same color, and then one is knit and the other is the reversed stockinette. What I'm doing now is just stockinette, but with rainbows. So I started here with the acid yellow and then continuing on, and now I'm at the light pink. Then I will continue to this reddish, pinkish red, and then this purplish one, and after that it will be blues and greens. So I will have 10 or 11 colors. The rest is all downstairs in a different bag, because I was like, I can bring the whole big bag, but there's seriously no use for it. I mean, why would I bring the whole bag when I know I won't in a million years knit to the last color? I don't need all those balls of yarn with me. Yarn I'm using is Catania, Schachenmeier Catania, and this is deep stash for me. I used to crochet, like I told you, and I used to crochet with cotton mostly. I made lots of blankets with this, and I really love the feel of the cotton. So I'm very happy that I can make use of it for a garment for myself. That's the word I was looking for. I was looking at the needles. I think, yeah, I'm not sure, but I think it's a 3.5 millimeter or a 3.25 millimeter needle. High sharps again. And I'm using Coconut's needle stoppers to make sure I don't lose my stitches. I can't show you the pattern because I haven't printed it, because I'm at the point where it's like mindless stockinette in the round all the way to the bottom hem. So I didn't bother to print the pattern for a second time. The first time the pattern I gave to my mom, and she has hers ready now. I am allowed to share a photo of that. That way you can see how the Beachcomber will be. The modification I did on this one is that I raised the neckline a little bit because my mom wanted to, and so we could knit the same thing together, and I could find out if there were any things she had to pay attention to. I had a Thinko in it, but it worked out fine, and as you can see, my mom looks amazing in it, and I really hope to wear mine next summer a lot more than I did. I'm always a bit careful wearing my hand knits because, well, with the cats, it's always their claws go in and they are needing me, and their claws just get one little strand and bam, there goes the whole. So yeah, I'm careful with my hand knits. I mostly wear them out of the house. So. And then when I come home, I put something else on, something easy, something they already wrecked or something. Like this one, it already has holes in it, and I'm like, okay, fine. Then, in my sheepy project bag, I have a little mess of lots of yarns. I will take them out. I will say I am knitting the Gnome Mystery Along. Oh Gnome You Didn't by Imagined Landscapes. I have all kinds of yarns from my stash. Sock yarns, little bits of other stuff, little samples. This one's rosy green wool, Hape Merino Fine from Woolgoed, about 20 meters. And well, if you are also joining in and you haven't seen the clue yet, then I would suggest you now look away, because I am going to spoiler it, because I am finished with clue 1 already, and I will show it to you. I am knitting these like suggested on 2.25 millimeter needles, the smallest size. They are my miniature higher sharp interchangeables, and here it is. This is clue 1, and seriously, you can tell me a lot, but I have absolutely no clue what it's gonna be. If this will be the hat, if this will be the body, seriously, don't know. If it's gonna be a sweater for the thing, I'm also probably amazed. We'll see what happens next. I put it in a big bag because I already know with the stuffing you have to put in, I need the bigger bag. Last year I had it in a small bag and that really didn't fit. Oh, Binx. Oh, you little cuddle bug. Yes, you is a cuddle bug. Then, that was all my knitting. I think that's plenty. I also have some spinning to show. And this yarn hasn't been washed yet. I still have to set the twist. Now I'm here in this room. I will leave it here and set the twist, because actually behind the camera there's my kitchen, my counter, and also the sink. So I have finished my Falkland spin. So my plan for the colourful spin along in the month of August is now officially done. And this is it. It is 100% Falkland. It is from Porpoise Fur. The name was Leafy Peepers, the colorway name, and I made a 2-ply. I fractal spun this one. Kinda fractal spun this one, I'm not sure. I split in the length in 2, and I split the second half another time in 2. Next time I would actually do it in 4 times the second half, because it would be so much prettier then. I think it would go a bit quicker. This has long sections of the same color, like here you can see, if it focuses. Yeah, it is super soft, which is new to me. No, it's not new, but it doesn't get old yet. In the beginning of my spinning, I just spun way too much twist in it, and this is absolutely gorgeously soft and definitely not high twist yarn. I knew that while I was making it, that I didn't want this high twist. It is about 525 meters, so this is a light fingering weight because it's 110 grams, so that's about 470 meters per 100 grams, which is awesome. It wasn't awesome getting it off the nitty nutty, on the nitty nutty. I will tell you, my arm hurt, but okay, well, it is awesome that I have so much yarn. And with the little leftover, I did a chain ply, and seeing this one, I am madly in love. I really love a chain ply that stripes, so that is what I'm aiming for in a next project. I also want to do a fractal spin with more color shifting and brighter colors and more colors, but I also want to do the fractal spin with a yeah, the chain ply with to make a striping yarn. Binx, you're distracting me. Yeah, go sit on your place. Then this is from my fiber study. I am trying to spin a few different fibers just to feel the difference and learn to spin with other things and see how it works. This is a chain ply as well, a 3-ply yarn. New Zealand fiber. It's not super soft, it's actually quite scratchy. But okay, it wasn't the most expensive luxurious yarn, so of a fiber. So I can imagine that all that stuff that I will spin from this package will be a little bit scratchy. And that's okay. I can manage and I will learn a lot. I just love how it looks as a 3-ply. I just love a consistent fiber or a consistent yarn. I don't know. I am not a machine. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it's very nice if it is almost perfect. Like I said, I am not a thick and thin yarn user. I would like it to be a bit more. Yeah. This is 30 grams of fiber and it's spun up to about 42 meters. I am hoping to have a few of those mini skeins and that I can maybe in the future knit a gnome with my own hand spun. Then for spinning, I have more in my Fiber Rachel alpaca bag. This is a Llama Llama duck bag. I'm sorry, but still, for me it's an alpaca bag. And let me see. I threw in the card. Yes, here it is. This is Fiber Rachel. I have some awesome things to show you later about the Fiber Rachel. I have been spinning. I made bats in pink and purple during Tour de Fleece, and I had spun up one on my Nano, but I didn't really like the feel of that fiber. I found out probably what it is. It is very high processed fiber because it was commercial fiber, and it just loses the feel of wool. Somehow it felt like plastic acrylic or something. I don't know, it doesn't feel real anymore. But I had a second one and I wanted to make a 2-ply with it, so only one thing left. Just get that bed, put it in high gear and treadle like an idiot. Don't bother how it looks. If it's a bit thick and thin, whatever. I spun it on my Bliss. So this is the second half and these will be plied together. I still have to find a moment to say, or a way to do it. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it on a Nano. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it on a Bliss. On my Bliss would be easier, but I have to find a way to lazy Kate it. Probably the holes look pretty the same size, so maybe I could even put it on the lazy Kate of my Bliss. I still have to try. So that is one. Then I have this awesome thingy, and this is the second bobbin I spun up on my Nano, and I took all kinds of samples and bits I got and spun it on one big bobbin. You can probably see some on the inside. That's the nice thing of these bobbins, I think. Yeah, there's quite a lot happening in here. This side looks even different. It's darker on the inside. And I am going to chain ply this, But again, I'm not sure if I can do that on the Nano. Of course you can do it, but I'm not sure if I am capable enough to do it. I have to practice, and I hate practicing, so I'd rather just put it on the Bliss, apply it there, and know that I have something I want. And then I have this one. I have, for the Colourful Spin Along for September, put myself the goal of spinning up another braid, and this time it's Panda fiber by Sweet Georgia. I split it into 3 because I want to make a true 3-ply, and this is bobbin number 1. Bobbin number 2 is on the wheel, and what I am doing is I have split the braid vertically this time in 3 equal pieces, and those pieces were split in 2, and then I went to the scale and made 3 times 40 grams because the original was 120 grams, and then I split it more. So I kept splitting until I had all these kinds of small little fuzzlings, just bits of fiber. I think I split like the whole width of the braid in like 12 pieces in total, so that meant quite a lot. And this is what I have left to do of the second one, and then I still have to do the third one. This is how it looks when it isn't split yet, so you can see the difference in volume. This is actually more than that one, so lots to do. And because I'm spinning really thin, it's seriously not looking like any progress at all. It takes me about 20 minutes, maybe even 30, to spin up 1 or 2 of those little fuzzlings. Like 20 minutes for one, and then I have a second one. It's like 30 minutes maybe for 2 of those fuzzlings. But I want a nice sock yarn with it and a true 3-ply, so I have to keep it thin. And that's also what the fiber wants to be, because it's super easy to make it thin. It just takes ages. I think that one might be the first one where plying is not taking ages, which is a new experience as well. So that was all the spinning I have. I'm just wondering, how are you doing for your Colourful Spin Along? I am thinking about doing prizes every 2 or 3 months. So the prize will probably be the end of October, the first one. Or maybe beginning of October, because I am in a mood to party or something. For those of you who don't follow me longer, October is usually a difficult month for me. We had a lot of family issues in October. Let's keep it at that. My father passed away on the 2nd of October. My grandfather passed away on the 2nd of October. Yeah, and lots of other things happening in October where we're not that happy. Winter is also then coming most of the times, and I tend to slip into the big black hole then. So I try to make October as fun as possible. So maybe I should do the giveaway at the beginning of October then. Well, then I guess it is time to show off all my new acquisitions. And I'm making a mess here, so I have to find some acquisitions. There it is. First up is the Clan of Igors by Undercover Otter. And for those of you who haven't received their August one yet, please look away. The August one is Young Frankenstein. If you still have time to look away, because I am going to show the braid. No, I am going to show you the skein of yarn. So this one is called Igor, and here it is. It has neon orange, neon pink, and a beautiful teal. And to me, this screams undercover otter. This is a real Petra. As for colors, and this is what I love. Absolutely love. There were also 2 darning needles added. And what can I say about the colorway? Young Frankenstein was completely shot in black and white, despite color film being the norm at that point in time, 1974. That choice was made by Brooks to make the movie match the old monster movies of the 30s. When I look at color pictures of that movie, the movie that were made during production, I get confused with the color choices in wardrobe, set and makeup, until I really realize that that's how black and white films work. Combinations that look slightly weird in color give an amazing depth in black and white, and sometimes weird color combinations end up playing very well together in color too. And that's what I set out to do with this month's colorway. And I think it worked very well. So, already looking forward to the new one. Then I have 2 lovely mini skeins. And these were gifted to me by Yarn Ambassador. And you might remember me test knitting a pattern for her. The Kind of Cool Tee. I showed it to you in the last episode, I think. I got the pattern, but she also sent out a little extra to her test knitters, which I think is awesome and super kind. So I got these 2 mini skeins for that. Then I had my wheel squeaking, and I didn't have any spinning oil or spinning wheel oil in home. I went to a friend and she added some spinning oil to my wheel, but it kept squeaking, so I was like, yeah, I have to order some spinning wheel oil myself. So here it is. I ordered this from Spinspool in Almere in the Netherlands, and since spinning wheel oil travels badly alone and I was like, yeah, I really like Ply magazine, I had to order the issue I didn't have yet about suspended spindle. I have quite a few spindles, but I don't use them enough. And a very interesting thing, I'm not even sure if I read it in this one or that I saw it somewhere, but that you actually don't go up because you hurt your shoulder, but you go sideways. And I have to practice that bit, because that really could help me use my spindles more. Then I have another acquisition. Oh god, I told you about an awesome thing Fiber Rachel did. Or at least I was gonna tell you about that. She had an open studio, and that was last weekend. Let me get something out of my bag. Yeah. 2, 3, 4. I missed one. Oh no, can't handle that. Right, Binx? No, we can't have that. So, Fiber Rachel lives in Enschede, and since I didn't really have enough spoons that day, I already messaged her. I can't make it. It looks amazing. I hope you have a big success. The days before, my oxygen concentrator, my Oxycon for making beads, broke down. And you really need that. And I was in the middle of a big wholesale order. Seriously, seriously. So on Saturday morning, I was able to borrow and pick up that borrowed Oxycon from a bead making friend who is also in Enschede. And my spoons were very limited because of pain. So that's why I messaged her. I can't make it. It's just too much. And then she showed a video on Instagram. And I was like, oh, fuck it. And Robert already offered to drive me, and that was really nice of him, because then I said, yes, dear, please drive me there. I want to go. I have to go. I saw something. I have to get it, and I must have it now. I could show them to you like this. It's not really working out how they look, but I bought a set of rainbow sheep stitch markers. I will put them away safely because Binx will probably eat them. I will show you this green one. It is a 3D printed sheep. Oops. There goes. There goes Binx. Told you, he wants the sheep. He dove in that project bag right away. And these are from Volop or Lineke Bosman. I will show it to you like this because her phone number is on here. So, Volop Lien. And her website is volop.nl. And that's not the only thing I got from her. But those sheep really made me jump in the car. And in the corner of the last video shot, I saw a yellow braid of fiber. And I was like, I have to check that out too. And here it is. I checked it out. And it just came with. This is an unknown wool with silk. And it is really soft still. So I'm guessing it would be merino, but not sure. And since it wasn't at all expensive, this one also came with. And this is the same fiber content. And I think they match together perfectly. And I might have the start of somewhat of a gradient, or maybe even a sweater combo spin something with something else. I just have to see. But yeah, I didn't buy another project bag. I was very tempted to get a Lego bag from Fiber Rachel. It was awesome. There was a yellow one, and even my husband was like, yeah, I can understand you want that, but seriously, I have to save money because I got the appointment with the orthodontist last week. I think I told you about that. I was going to get one and might need braces again. Yeah, the answer is I do need braces. I will have a next appointment next month where they will measure it and make the 3D model. And then 4 to 6 weeks after that there will be braces for me for about a year and a half. I'm getting used to the idea. It's an Invisalign braces, which means they are invisible. And there's little plastic braces. Yeah, it's just like a mold, and you put it on. Somewhere on your teeth there will be a few invisible brackets or white brackets, and you click them on. You remove them when you eat or drink or brush your teeth, and further you keep them in, up and down. And actually we have to pay for them ourselves, and they're like 3,500 euros. Seriously? Yes. But to get insurance would mean that we would not even get half of that amount insured, and pay probably more in insurance than get back. So it is a very expensive hobby to get some braces, but I hope that means that I will have perfect teeth for the rest of my life, because, well, my teeth are all going like this, and up is going like that, which means there's no space in my mouth for my tongue. And I bite my tongue way too often. Yeah, so that's a little personal escapade during this podcast. I wonder, did any of you have braces in their grown age? I did have them when I was a kid, but my dentist did it, and the orthodontist said he didn't do a very good job with that. But they could help me very good. I knew he didn't do a very good job with that because my dentist wasn't an ass. Yeah, I didn't like the guy. I have a new one now and I love him. So, yeah. Then, like I said, I have opened up a brand new web shop, colourfulcreativity.nl. And yes, I have been dyeing yarn. I am mostly prepping No Rainbows Without Rain, which is pretty boring because I'm only dyeing grey. But I've also been speckling a lot. This is something special that will come with me to Cardiff. I have 4 different ones now already. There will be more. These are 50 gram skeins, and they will be combined with 1 or 2 mini skeins to make socks. But also they work perfectly, of course, for shawls or anything. When you combine them, sometimes you just need like 20 or 30 grams, like the starts of a chiffon shenanigans or a dotted race shawl. Then one 50 gram skein would be more than enough. And yeah, I am just making them speckly, just party style. No recipe at all. And here's number 4. There will be 4 of each. I'm still contemplating if I will do 4 different mini skeins or that I will just do 1 color mini skein, or that I'm just gonna take all my mini skeins and you can mix and match yourself. But okay, we'll see what happens. These can also be used for shorty socks. I mean, for my size 43 feet, when I have 20 gram mini skein and a 50 gram full skein, I still have leftovers because my mini skein, my sneaker socks usually take about 50 grams. I'm also dyeing a new rainbow mini skein set. These are the first 4 colors. This is going to be a more darker rainbow, a bit more muted. Well, not, yeah, I'm not sure if muted is the right word. It's not the bright rainbow, it's more the dark, deep jewel tone like rainbow, probably. I guess that would be the right description. I was like, yeah, I only have the really bright stuff, not the really winter like, you know me, I'm a bright rainbow girl, but I do love the deep jewel tones. So I'm thinking of doing that, and I am still trying to make a perfect brown. Brown is super hard to make for me somehow. Not to have it like poop, but just that really nice golden brown crisp color. That would be perfect for a sweater with a colored yoke or something. That's what I'm thinking about and working on. So we'll see. Hopefully I can manage. Oh, you cuddle bug. So yeah, the new shop is open, and these things will not be in the shop. They will come with me to Cardiff first. I have to dye, so I have enough to take with me. Would be a shame if I don't even fill the suitcase. So I can take more back, of course, then, but yeah. And then there is, of course, the coupon code of my lovely friend Monique from frogpeakcreations.etsy.com. Colourful 15 will give you 15% off all her amazing project bags. And with that, I guess I'm at the end. I don't know what to say anymore. Binx is doing a tongue out Tuesday, and well, I think it's time to go. And I hope to see you again next time. I hope I can make it again in 2 weeks instead of a little bit longer. My schedule is a bit full with all the dyeing and making beads, but we'll see. I hope you have a wonderful time, and leave me a note somewhere with what you are working on, and maybe if you have questions for me to answer in the podcast, go ahead, pop them in there, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye!